Hey, everybody. Welcome to STR. My name's John. Derek, of course, is in the house with me today. We have got a special guest that we are incredibly psyched to be chatting with for a while. Las Vegas native. This guy's a musician, artist, author. He's a Renaissance cowboy. And as it happens, he's also the founder of the Crusher band Spiritworld. Welcome to the fray, man. Thanks so much for joining us, Mr. Stu Folsom.
Yo. Thanks for having me. What's up?
Not much, man. Where on the planet do we find you this evening?
I am sitting in my spare bedroom / studio in my home in Charleston Heights in Las Vegas, Nevada.
I know you're a native there. Have you left and come back?
Yeah, I lived here till I was in like junior high-ish age, and then I lived in Idaho and finished high school, and then I started working on the road, and I want to say I've been here, I don't know, since like 99. So the last like 25 years I've been here, and me and my girl, she's from Idaho, but we bought this house like, I don't know, maybe 6-7 years ago or something. But yeah, for most of my life, I've lived in Las Vegas.
Well, we got a lot of stuff we want to pepper you with tonight, but I'd like to start by asking if there was a specific moment in your rodeo career when you decided this is not for me, and what was that moment?
Well, there's like for me, I didn't like really hit a huge growth spurt until like 9th grade, 10th grade, So like when we were doing a lot of junior rodeo stuff, like 7th, 8th grade, like I was small then. Like I had friends of our family and cousins that, we'd like go to their place and ride steers. Like it's hard to practice for like rough stock and rodeo because it's, how many people have like working like bucking chutes and like pens, and usually it's people that are doing more like roping type activities.
Yeah.
So like we had built like a like you can construct like a bucking barrel. So we had like railroad ties in our backyard that my older brother Chris, big rodeo guy. So like you had like chains and ropes and then like a 50-gallon drum, and you just beat the side of it in so you can get a rigging on that, or like a rope, and then get a couple stout motherfuckers like ripping it on the side, and so you can get a barrel going. But I mean, it's fun. Like it's really addictive, just like anything that's a rush. I mean, for me, the point was like riding stuff, you get hurt even if you ride, like you could win and still like get stepped on a little bit or get hurt. Like I broke my nose riding a steer, and then I don't know, you just kind of like there's a decision because you go from like riding the smaller sized animals when they're small to it takes a big jump up from like yearling bulls to full grown like stock, you know what I mean? So I was probably weighing 110 pounds, and it got to that point where it's like, am I serious about this, to the point where like I want to devote my life to it? Because it's pretty dangerous. And so you can either transition into doing things that are less dangerous, like, team roping or something of that nature. But because we were pretty poor, like I didn't have it's not like I had a horse and I could like be out roping and shit. So it was probably like end of like summer of 8th, 9th grade, somewhere in there. I was just like, yeah, high school rodeo, like you start getting into the serious level. Like there were people in my high school going pro. Like, I mean, at that point you're competing with, some of the best riders going. So for me, it wasn't like an event, like I got my head stepped on or anything. It was just, it was just like a realization of, are you going to devote your life to it? I think anybody doing any sport does that probably in junior high school, where you're like, are you going to try and be like D1 playing this sport? Or are you going to, casually just fuck around and do it? So
yeah. Well, the idea, mad respect for those guys riding the big steer, man. Like climbing on the top of an angry Volkswagen just seems
it's
frightening and horrifying.
Yeah, I mean it's cool. Like people don't understand it, and I like when I was younger, and like my punk friends definitely like very pro like vegan and like all that kind of shit. It's like, I hear you, I understand, but like this culture is completely different. Rodeo's badass.
Yeah.
Like you'll never get it, so I won't bother trying to explain it to you. You know what I mean?
I'm assuming that at the time you were also sitting at home and playing guitar. Is that correct?
I did not play guitar until much later. I was in my early 20s, and I never seriously started playing guitar until like I was already in a band for a while, and I just kind of started like making noise because I was trying to like write certain songs, and it's hard to do that in a band if you don't play instruments.
Right. Yeah. I jumped into, I found you through Pagan Rhythms, and I was blown away by it. I've been a huge fan ever since. Anybody who will listen, I've been telling about Spiritworld. And the question I had, and I've really loved the visual of the band, since I came into them, is artwork and the sound. Is it all part of the plan for you? Was this planned this way to have, a visual component to it, some really cool artwork and storytelling? Was this germinating in your head very early on, or is it just kind of came that way?
Yeah, it was all a plan. Like for me, like I just love the culture. I love bands and I love all the different trappings of it. And so when I decided to do Spiritworld, I knew I was going to do something serious. And to me, the challenge is like, I want to be like my favorite bands. So if you were to put my favorite thing from a bunch of bands, like there may be a black metal band that I really dig the vibe and I really dig the like visual presentation that they give to fans at like a festival show when they're headlining. So I'm like, I love that. But it may not be my favorite, like sonically, like too many blast beats go on too long.
Sure.
So then to me, it's like I wanted to do something where I could take what I was inspired of all kinds of different things and put it together and package it of like what I'm into, So definitely the visuals, the riffs, everything is like all sort of planned. As planned as it can be, right? Because like I'd be lying if I said I knew exactly what the cover art to the third record would be 5 years ago. Because that's not fair. But the vibe, yes,
You seem a little bit like Tobias Forge. It's kind of like your baby, your vision. The question I had about the visual part of it, the videos, I mean, are you just involved in every aspect of the videos and what it's going to portray, or do you let the artist kind of come to the table based on the lyrics and what they see and feel?
It varies from case to case, but like our main videos, Todd Hailstone is a really old friend of mine that I met in high school in Idaho, and like he's been doing film stuff. And so with him, I kind of just hand it off. And so it's not like it's kind of his interpretation of this world,
Sure.
So the storylines and the characters he brings into it are just loosely based on the stuff I'm doing. So in that regard, like, it's collaborative insofar as like I'm producing it, have a budget, have the songs, and I'm like, these are the ones that I feel like I want to drop as a single, and then kind of let him do what he's into. You know what I mean?
Understood. And staying kind of along that theme of picking singles, I know Mike Gitter from Century Media when he was at Roadrunner, ended up at Roadrunner listening to Killswitch Engage, Alive or Just Breathing before that came out with him. So I've known him for a number of years. I think a lot of bands don't really, or people don't know, fans don't know what a record label brings to the table. What does Mike Gitter and Century Media bring to the table for you? It's not the way it used to be back in the day where tons of funding and everything else, but what is it that you get creativity-wise as well as just guidance and support?
I think it depends on what a project needs. Like I have a fully formed idea of what I'm trying to do. So what I need or what I am looking for, like in a relationship, is different. Like if you just were a talented kid that could sort of write a good song, but you didn't have any of the ideas of the trappings of the industry, Mike knows everybody, has made a ton of records, has a really great ear for what's working and what's hip and what's cool. So he could take a project and put you with somebody that would do a great job engineering and producing your record, could put you with somebody to deliver artwork that would be, relevant and cool. Like for Spiritworld, I'm pretty involved. I don't need any of that stuff. So it's more so on the side of like I self-released Pagan Rhythms originally, but you have to cross through certain like barriers and to get your stuff playlisted and things. It's still easier because Century Media only puts out like really high level stuff and they have great distribution and working through the orchard. Like that's what for Spiritworld I would say they bring to the table is if I was doing this DIY, would we get our stuff out to the extent that maybe Death Western wouldn't have got into as many spots without that push. And then that being said, there's also intangible things where if you have people that love music as much as Mike Gitter does and loves your project, then like with Liquid Metal and with Jose, like Gitter was watching Strife and Jose was there, and then I forget if it was Pagan Rhythms or maybe it's Death Western, and then he's like in his ear like, hey, you're gonna love this band. And so would Jose have checked out my band at some point? Probably. He's got his ear to the ground, but
Sure.
having somebody in the right spot that's going to insert your art to the right people is also helpful, you know? So I think those are some of the things that like a label can still do, you know? And then Jose loves the band and hit me up, and we have like a great relationship. Like he pumps the shit out of Spiritworld. And so, I mean, it's the people hate on labels and things, but like I work for a big corporation and deal with all kinds of things. And it's like if you're doing things and you want to do it professionally, sometimes like there's good and bad in every relationship. So get like inform yourself and then make a good decision. If things that work well, keep on trucking. And if it doesn't feel right, you know, don't do it. And
do you
adjust.
feel like, do you feel like the industry is starting to become a little more artist centric in that regard? Is this, we all know the labels got pretty bad and they took advantage of a lot of innocent artists for a while. But would you say, in your experience, do you feel like they are, in general, labels are there to support you rather than tell you what, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like in that, and maybe that's just the way that I carry myself and what I've been upfront about how the relationship's going to be from the jump. But there's no influence. I mean, there's not even a discussion of what I'm doing. It's more of I have full trust of go do you, and like that's it. You know what I mean? So I can't speak for anybody else, but my experience doing these 3 records, one was a reissue, so that's easy. I think they only changed the color of the cover to make it different, which I mean, I didn't really have an opinion one way or the other. So that's an easy, I'm like, well, if that makes sense to you, cool, whatever. And then the other 2, I just deliver pretty much fully formed albums, artwork, everything. I pick who I'm working with, producer wise, everything. And then
for producers, that's been Sam Pura, right? With everything.
Another really good friend of mine that I mean, not known for doing heavy stuff recently. And so I think initially there were some discussions like, oh, we should have Arthur Risk and a lot of names of people that I really love and respect that would have probably done a great job. But also it's like, I do this band because I want to have a reason to hang out with friends of mine, make art, and the people that play in my band and tour. It's like, it's people that I want to spend time with. So to me, like, yes, I can go work with anybody, but I'll probably always like have my own reasons for doing things. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, the work you've done with Sam is fantastic. His records are so clean and so powerful. It's just the production on them is so good. So it's clearly the partnership is working.
Yeah, and it's cool. Like sometimes things don't seem to fit on paper, but like common interests, and you know, Sam's very talented, very passionate about what he does, and it's been great. Like we've had a lot of fun doing these last for whatever. Like I mean, 3 full lengths in like 4 years it's a lot of work.
Yeah. Cool. What was the process of creating the Death Western amp with Purified Audio?
They him and their designer and like the app guy and they had all of the captures of all the album tones, because I'd have to look at my notes, but like I believe we probably had like, because we quad tracked the guitars and then each one of those had a different amp set up in a different blend. And so what you're hearing on that amp sim is a combination of like kind of like they just brought some of the like a left and a right and then did a trace of it. And so you have it in just an easy plug-in. But I didn't have to do anything on the technical side. I think the only involvement I had to do was like I think they asked me for some artwork and I sent over like some cover artwork, and they just sent the beta and sent me like some specs, and I was like, yeah, this is badass.
Oh, it's great.
I use the plug-in all the time. Like I have like an amp set up over here. You can't quite see it, but sometimes it's nice to just have headphones on and like I can dial in my own little amp. That I mean, that's pretty cool, you know?
Yeah, it's a great plugin too. I've used it a lot over the past couple of years. So yeah, congrats on that as well.
What's cool is it seems as though Slayer has had obviously an impact on you. You've made it known that Rain and Blood is one of your favorite albums of all time. What I've noticed is Slayer was consistently Slayer, right? And you always knew it was Slayer when you heard them. It's the same with Spiritworld. Was that done on purpose? I mean, you know it's Spiritworld when you hear one of the three records.
I mean, I guess so, but I think that's just how I play guitar maybe and stuff. And like I get shit for the Slayer thing sometimes, and people are like, "Oh, it's too on the nose." Like I'm ripping them off, and I'm like, "Well, I challenge that because there's a million doom bands that fucking sound to me like Black Sabbath, and that's cool. And to me, I Slayer is way more fucking important to me, and like so fucking good. Like to me, that is my Sabbath. Or when
Sure.
people talk about Kiss or the Ramones, so I'm like, it's a compliment when you tell me that my shit's even remotely rip off or not. Like Slayer is the Kings, and I'm happy to be a disciple, and like I'll die on that cross. I'm not embarrassed. I fuck with Slayer big time.
I don't think that you are ripping off Slayer at all. I think that the riffs are your own for sure, and I can hear the difference between Slayer and you. I know. I mean, as soon as I heard Abilene Grime on Sirius XM, I was like, "Oh, it's Spirit World." I didn't even have to look, and because I work from
And
home.
that, like, I'm not sure that's cool to hear that translates because I don't, I guess I never get to experience stuff from like what it sounds like when it's done. I'm fucking so in the weeds and the details.
Sure.
For me, I just hear pain and fucking suffering and all the shit that didn't get done. So like, that's what I hear when I listen back to these. So I guess I'm the wrong person to ask. So if it all sounds like the same band, cool. But like I did an interview this morning where somebody was asking about like this one that if you were to take a couple of the songs off Helldorado and just play them, you wouldn't know it was Spirit World. I'm like, yeah, I guess that's true. Like it could totally be. But I'm like, I don't think about songs like that either. Like I wrote a piece of music that's an album. So
Right.
to me, like I wanted it to have different things in it that I fuck with that I think are cool. And so I understand if somebody sends their friend like a song like Prayer Lips and they're expecting, if they're like, here's a follow up to Death Western, like, yeah, they probably would be like, what the fuck? You know what I mean?
Right.
But I
Yeah.
don't think like that because I don't have to. And like, I can make records because that's what I'm doing. And if somebody else wants to do something different, like, even if you hate my band and think it's like gimmicky or stupid or just the most fucking lame shit ever, like, you got basement, you got a garage, you have a couple friends, like start your own shit, bro. Like I can do it, you can do it.
Yeah, to be a fanboy for a minute. I mean, I've been in the media for a long time. I stepped out for a while, did the family thing, and came back and doing this with John. I listen to everything. I get everything from all the record labels. I'll go through it, and there's so much stuff that just sounds the same, the same, the same, the same. Your music has stood out. I'm a thrash guy. In the end of the day, I love all the crossover thrash stuff. I love Power Trip, like in modern times. And when I found you, it was just instantaneous, just a love affair. And then when you take the artwork on top of it, you're obviously giving an ode back to Slayer and some of the past thrash bands, but you've made it your own. Your vocals are your vocals. I mean, you know it right away. And I think it's a testament. And I certainly hope that people take more time to really take a listen because what you're doing is very original and it's fun. I mean, it's just fun and it's cool. And I love the horror themes that you overlay on top of it. And I have to ask, what would Spirit World look like without horror?
Without, because I think like kind of the bedrock of what I'm doing is like a love of crossover, thrash, hardcore, like and, I mean some death metal stuff too, but I probably lean more in like crossover and like hardcore stuff. And then it's like combining Western fiction and like horror films. So like that's what I set out to do. So I think if you remove one of those pieces, I mean it's a completely different project. You know what I mean? Like the world is completely different if it didn't have like a dark occult horror element. You know what I mean?
Right. And Godlessness would not exist either.
Yeah. So to me, like I don't think one informs the other. Like if you were to take out like my love of crossover thrash, the band is completely different. You take out horror, you take out like my love for like Western storytelling, You take any of it out, it's a completely different beast.
Did Godlessness fit into your long-term picture in 2017, 2018?
Yeah, the initial challenge was I wanted to make like a serious thing, do a few records, but I wanted it to be a concept album. And then I wanted to push myself to write something a little bit longer form, which that book of short stories was going to be a zine originally, just like a fold and staple. And then it got a little longer, and then I self did it, and then it gets actually published. And then like now the next piece of that story is shaping up. It'll be like a full like 300-page novel. And so like that was just part of the inspiration, the challenge to myself. Like I want to write, I want to tell stories, I want to make records and do this shit. So
how do you find the writing process for the book versus writing an album? Can you compare the two? I know that the works that you've produced are companion pieces for one another, but can you separate the process of writing a book versus writing an album, and which do you prefer more, if you do have a preference?
I mean, for me, the process is like, I'm like a blue collar dude. So to me, like, I don't inherently feel like I have some sort of talent or muse. Like some people talk about like they're just gifted at things, and I've never felt that way. I think my great talent is like being able to sit and sort of zone out and meditate on like a riff or a song and whatever, and just beat that bitch into the dirt until like I shape it into something that I think is cool. And so with writing, I think writing's fun. I love to read. And sometimes when I'm writing, it's the same thing where like I'll just blast out a bunch of stuff, and then I'm able to pull back, look at it, and be like, okay, this is fucking terrible. And then like go through and massage it. And so to process, I feel the same, whether I'm like messing with artwork or guitar or writing. To me, I think it's all, I don't know. I think I just, and however I make art, I don't think it matters what the medium is. I think I get a charge from creating the space and time to like lose myself in something. And I'm pretty detail oriented. So when I find the time and the inspiration to work on something, it doesn't matter if I'm designing merch or whatever it is. Like I enjoy it. So I get a lot out of it. So it doesn't matter to me if I'm programming like drums and I'm like, have a cool riff I've looped, and then I go through 50 drums trying to figure out the right rhythm. To me, that's artistic, and like I enjoy that. And I'm a bit of a psycho. So I found that rather than like sit with a drummer and be like, here's my riff, play a skip beat. Don't like that. Give me like a D beat, like a whatever it is. Like, I don't feel bad when I sit in my room and I go through 100 variations to get to the one. And if I go back to the very first one and I'm like, boy, that was fucking a waste of time, we're right back where we started, and that's the best. I feel guilty, and I tend to drive people crazy. So I prefer to work those things out myself, because I don't feel bad if I get back to square one. I mean, I didn't like people that I share these demos and stuff with on a personal, like my inside circle. Like they may be like, you're fucking nuts, I told you that shit was fine. But like, so to me, it's all the same. I like just zoning out and like forgetting about work and life and whatever, and having these little projects to pour my energy into.
Yeah.
Now, how much effort did you put in your Sex Magic booty shorts that are on your website? Because John and I ordered them, so the next time we interview you, we're going to wear those, unfortunately, for you.
Oh, no, we won't.
I don't know, because sometimes like I'll have an idea and I just whip it out, and sometimes it's like I want to say that was pretty easy. I think I'm trying to figure out what color of orange, because I think I use like, it's kind of a weird orange and yellow colors.
Yeah.
So I think I spent more time on the color wheel doing different combinations. That was
you blocked out a couple of months for that one, didn't you?
Yeah. And a lot of that stuff, like I'm doing the merch, like I got to send in our order for our tour, and some of that I try to get ahead of the game, so I'm not, deadline oriented, but you always end up with like,
I placed an order before this call. Sadly, I did not get the booty shorts, but maybe I need to.
I think you do.
Yeah, I think I will.
I fly, man. you know.
Well, you got some great merch. We were kind of raving about the stuff you've got up, man. Like the jackets, prime merch, man. Great stuff.
Those are cool.
Yeah. Keeping on the written word for a minute. You played some shows with Power Trip a while back, and you mentioned in an interview I read somewhere that you'd layered in some samples from Swingers and Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. And I'm wondering specifically about the Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas samples that you used. Was that more of a geographic specific call out because it was talking about Vegas, or are you a fan of Hunter in general?
Yeah, I mean, I love Hunter. Like, well, we did that shipwreck cruise. I went to the library and had a book of like some of his Gonzo papers that I just hadn't read. But yeah, I'm a big fan, and like I loved Fear and Loathing, loved the film, loved the book. And so there was I think I ripped it from the film, but there's I think he's just talking about Las Vegas and like there's a high water mark, and like I just use it as a
It's a lovely, I don't remember the quote exactly, but I know what you're talking about. It's fantastic.
We were riding the crest of a high and beautiful wave. So now, less than 5 years later, you can go up on a steep hill in Las Vegas and look west. And with the right kind of eyes, you can almost see the high water mark. That place where the wave finally broke and rolled back.
that quote. So I think I just use that as because I hate when people are up on stage yapping. I'm just like shut the fuck up and play. Like personally, as like a fan. So unless you're engaging and like have a good story or something, I like bands that just rip. So if we have to take a break, then I generally try and build out some sort of interesting interlude. And in Vegas, my old band had a lot of samples. And so when we transitioned from doing some Spiritworld stuff, then we played some of my old band songs. I compiled like some samples from that band through some different songs. And so like the lights went out and like those samples were going, and like all these kids at this Power Trip show figured out like, oh shit, they're going to play some Folsom songs. So like the lights went out and these sound clips are going, and then you just start hearing like fucking smack, smack, and people just fucking beating the dog shit out of each other. And then we play these songs, and I find out that some actual friend, I was going to say a douchebag, but that's rude. It's a little brother. I say little brother, but grown ass, like 20-something-year-old, 25-year-old man is like windmilling, hits my chick in the face who's standing at the back of the room, busts her lip open, and like crowd killed my buddy who's in the Army's pregnant wife. So then my older brother who plays in Spiritworld now saw this, goes over, sees my chick Jen with her like lip busted in half. And so he immediately turns and like whatever, saw who did it and just went and smashed that dude. So then by the time I get done, my brother's wife is like screaming at me, "What the fuck? I hope you're fucking happy." And I'm like, you know, playing a show, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's crazy, but I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And
Yeah.
And then I like realize, and there's a kid over there and a puddle of blood, and like my brother left and's like texting like, I can't be there, I'm gonna get arrested, I fucking killed that kid, and all this crazy shit. And then my chick's already left to go to the fucking ER, and so I'm like, Riley and Hood, and like my friends from Power Trip, I'm like, hey, I love y'all, but I gotta go, I got a whole show going on, so like I'll hit you guys up later, like peace. So yeah, I don't, yeah,
all thanks to Hunter Thompson.
Yeah. And I mean, some of that stuff, it's like, did I make those samples because I knew it was going to like make the hair on kids' arms stand up? Yes. Did I think that it would probably make a show go off? Yes. Did I want my personal circle involved in this chaos and like violence? No.
Of course not. Yeah.
Hindsight 2020, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe my brother's wife was correct in saying, "Are you happy, you fucker?"
Well, art is supposed to get a reaction, and you got a reaction.
You did.
Yeah, I think you got to be careful with what you do, because like people respond to aggressive things with aggression, and sometimes, you know, shit happens. So,
Well, Helldorado is out March 21st, and it is on Century Media. We did poll. We got some questions that came in from listeners. So Matt wanted to know, how did you go about writing Helldorado differently from Death Western?
Differently?
If at all.
The only thing different would be the instruments, like, because there's some stuff I used acoustic guitars and I wrote stuff. What did I use? Mainly it was just guitars, like because I wrote Pagan Rhythms and Death Western on a Telecaster for the most part. And so then I've got like some cool companies send me really nice guitars now. And so I have
Nice.
some like cool shout out ESP. So
Yeah.
I have a whole like array of guitars. And so for the like more countryer stuff on there, definitely that was different because I think I only had a couple things like that on Death Western. And so this time there was, a little more time spent like instrumentation wise on that sort of thing. And then what else was different? The writing wasn't really different. I just do what I do in here. Like I just make shit. And then recording, our drummer Preston, who plays live with us, tracked the drums. So that was different. Where the last two records, Thomas Pridgen did most of the drums on everything. And so it was cool working with Pridgen. Love him. Fantastic drummer. But
Yeah,
obviously
amazing drummer.
much different when you're the dude that's in your band. Like we were able to, spend more time talking about things and shit because we're in a van and touring and
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
How did you connect up with Thomas Pridgen? Was he just local to your scene, or?
So where Sam Pura's studio is, the infamous Panda Studios is in Fremont, California, which is right there off of like if you take the BART, it's like Oakland, San Leandro, Fremont, or I may have that wrong. Don't judge me.
And I'm not judging you, but I'm just saying everybody else is gonna.
But like it's all pretty close. And so
Yeah.
I think Pridgen was hanging out, just smoking blunts with Sam and I can't remember, like maybe I had written Pagan Rhythms and we were starting to work on it or somewhere in there. I don't remember, but he was I think he listened to some of the songs and Sam was like, well, we're trying to like get somebody to come in here and like session these drums out. So let's see how it goes. And then
Excellent choice.
yeah, Thomas is a shit. So like it was badass. Like I love the way that guy beats the fuck out of a drum kit. Like that's one of the great joys of this project was being able to hang out and make a record with him too, Like that's pretty cool, like bucket list stuff.
Yeah. Did he cover the entire album, or because you had Adam Elliott? Is that right?
Yeah. So I don't remember how exactly it worked, but I think Adam. I don't remember who came in first, but there were some scheduling conflicts, and so to get Pagan Rhythms done, Adam lives up there too. Great guy. We're all friends. And Sam Pure is really great about like, just that thing of like when you're trying to make something and then you have people that just want to make cool shit. And so Sam's great at being able to say like, yo, I'm making this cool shit. If you want to like hang out and be best friends and like
be on some cool shit.
Yeah. And so, cause you got to remember when I did Pagan Rhythms, like there was no band yet, you know what I mean? So I was just like studio project. And so it's kind of like, I have all these songs, let's go up and make it and then we'll figure it out. So, the drums and like finding Randy Moore playing lead guitar, those were things that were like, we have this project. Now, how do we add these other layers we got to get in there,
Yeah. Is it easy for you? And again, I apologize for jumping around so much, but you being, the brain trust and creating everything and then bringing the band in post writing process. Do you struggle handing everything off to the band, or are you?
I mean, there's a give and take, but there's not as much freedom as like I guess I made it sound. So like when I say that I had the songs, like I have MIDI drums mapped out meticulous. And so it's like you have an exact roadmap of what I want.
These are the parts.
So this is exactly what you're playing. And then Thomas is playing. It's like, hey, you missed a crash hit here and here. So I need you to like play it back, listen to it. Do you hear that one? Yeah. I need you to do this crash, then do the 18 over here. And then Sam's standing literally in the control room. And it's like, between me and him having it mapped out, there's a little room for stuff where it's like, hey, we have a fill. We don't love it. Why don't you rip a couple fills and see if you can get something that lands? And so there's little flourishes of things like that. But it's not like I guess I feel pretty good about it because it's all pretty much done.
Yeah. Is that still the case with Preston now too? Like you give the guys, here's the parts.
Yeah. And with Preston, it's not as meticulous because like we've been playing live together and he kind of knows what I like. And
Yeah.
so like, I may send him a demo of a song where on the fast part it's just going boom pap boom pap boom pap boom boom pap, and I don't
Mhm.
change it. And I don't even have a fill, and I just send it at the block and it does it for however many bars, and then it switches riffs. And so then when I send it to him, I'm like, hey, I didn't finalize that kick pattern. So if you got a better one that works, or for the fill, and then sometimes I'll write an exact pattern and be like, this is exactly what this is. So with him, it's I definitely send him stuff on Helldorado that like there was more room for like him to do it. And then he
Yeah.
took a pass at like programming the drums as well. So like on the first two records, I programmed all the MIDI, sent it to Sam. He went through, said, okay, I see what you're doing. Let me clean it up and do it. And then that was like the piece that then you bring the drummer and you play to that. And so with Preston, it's like there's another layer in there. So we add mine, Preston's, back to me, more changes, maybe back to Preston, then bring
Yeah.
Sam, and he might make a change. Then we all sit in there when we're tracking drums. And so it's just another layer of psycho fucking idiots like that really go way more detailed than
By the way, you're talking porno to John because he has
Yeah.
his own home studio. So this is all like he's get. All I hear is you're the John Williams of thrash. But for him, this conversation is getting him very excited.
Yeah.
You can see it. Yeah.
Starting to glaze over. I apologize in the best way.
I don't know, that's cool. Like I geek out on this stuff, so like I'm happy to share, it's
Yeah,
like
I could absolutely ruin this conversation for Derek by, talking DAWs and, effects chains, but I'm going to be a friend to Derek and not do that today.
yeah.
Well, and also our listeners will also glaze over, but you guys can talk about it, off camera. Yeah. So is there something that is on Helldorado that you're just super proud of? That you can't wait for the masses to hear it, that maybe it's something that everybody hasn't heard or hasn't been released yet.
I mean, they're all my babies, so I guess
Sure.
I'm like stoked on all of it, but I think it's cool. Like it's not a song, but if you look at the cover artwork of the horse and then the brand that's on the horse, like that's my mom's brand. And so that was like
that's cool.
putting the block T on there. And so and like when I showed her, I'm like, I actually
Here you go.
Yeah.
I think I had it. So I'm like, hey mom, check it out. Like, do you see this brand on this? I don't know if you can see it, but so then when she looks at it, she's like, oh yeah, it's cool. It's a little high though. I'm like, well, maybe when another one of your kids like starts a big ass fucking band and can put, a horse with your brand on it, they can put it a little lower. Damn.
Listen, Stu, we know what needs to happen. Pull all the albums and reprint them.
Yeah,
Okay, let's just do it the right way.
But I did send a specific revision on that because my mom was in Iowa with my brother, and like I said, draw it exactly how you want it. So I should have kept it, but there's a picture in my phone of like her little drawing of what she wanted the brand, to look like.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, where at on the horse? And there's like a really shitty horse's ass that my brother like doodled, and it's like has an X like here. And then James Bousma did one version. And then I'm like, yo, that's not the right spot. And like one of the like revisions I sent him. So then he had to move it. And then I thought we nailed it. And then we blew it. So
And you didn't.
Yeah. And that's what I mean. It's like for me, like I'm so in the details on these things. Like when I look at that now that my mom made that comment, I will forever see that like that fucking brand too high,
We always do like a rapid fire at the end of these things. And I was just going to lead in. Have you had a pinch me moment, where you've just met somebody, you've had a moment where like a pinch me moment, like I can't believe I'm here and I'm doing this. Yeah.
Yeah, all the time. Like every time we get a tour offer and I look at it and I'm like, oh shit, sick,
Yeah.
Like, yeah, lots of those. Like we're really blessed with like what we do. So the fact that people fuck with this band, there's nothing but pinch me boom. It's really because it's like when you don't have expectations and then it's just like wildly like exceeding all of them. Like to me, it's all a pinch me,
You've shared the stage with some pretty heavy hitters. Who is somebody who you would still completely fanboy out over that you just, you'd love to meet, but you haven't yet met?
Oh, haven't met?
Yeah.
Fuck, I don't know. Like, I mean, Slayer's a big one. Like, I mean, I kind of don't like fangirl out too much. I mean, I
Sure.
love bands and stuff, but I learned booking shows that it's better for me. I love the record more than I love the human that makes it. In most
Yeah.
cases. So I generally I do like my rule of thumb is like I do my thing and people that get in the same room in the same backstage when it's good energy and it's real natural and everybody's like, oh, yo, and you're bros and it's really easy, then cool, hang out. But if there's like if I got to be the one to go chase something, like, no offense, like I got my old lady. I'm not chasing some band dude to like try and like
Yeah.
fully connect because I really like records. And so I would be afraid of like go meet Rob Flynn and like I'm a little like Larry David. Like he maybe unintentionally would do something and I would be like, you just fucking ruined
It gets over. Yeah.
Fuck.
Never
Like,
meet your heroes, right?
yeah, like whatever. It could be like a bathroom situation, a shared, whatever you want to say. Like I'm weird, and so I know that. So I don't think I don't have a list. I try not to like
Yeah.
I say hi to people like and be polite, but yeah, I don't.
I met Tom Araya at the Avalon in Boston years ago, and I met the whole band, but he was so nice. And I towered over him, which was interesting. But I shook his hands, and you know the thing from the Fantastic Four? It's like, all
Yeah.
rock.
The Rock, yeah.
His hands are like callous. Like I felt like I was shaking hands with the thing. But he was so nice. He sat there and asked questions, and I was a complete stranger in the media. Didn't give a fuck, But he was polite. So that was one hero that I met that he met expectations, which was cool. And Peter Steele from Typo Negative was always cool. So
yeah, and I think most of the time people are super cool to me. So I don't want it to seem like I have encounters with like rock star dickheads because I don't.
Right.
Most
Yeah.
people are cool. And most of it is like I grew up with 5 brothers and you learn pretty quick when people are busy or distracted and
Sure.
like leave people alone or, big bro beat the fuck out of you. You know what I mean? Like so it's like I have that too where I'm like, if I can tell people are like going through it, I'm not gonna go try and get,
Yeah.
a
Will
handshake.
you sign my hat?
Yeah. So
All right. Well, I'm going to hit you with some quickie questions. They're sort of an either or thing. So I'll just throw them out. Give me the first one that comes back to your mind. Hardcover or paperback?
paperback. Cheap.
Sausage or bacon?
Bacon. Crispy as fuck.
Nice. Clean or dirty?
Totally depends on what. Like I'm gonna safely say clean.
Okay. All right. Very good. Walk or run?
Walk.
Driver or passenger?
Drive.
Ocean or lake?
Ocean.
And lastly, roller coaster or Ferris wheel?
Roller coaster. Easy.
Nice. Very good. Very good. Derek, what
Well,
do we got for tour dates for the? Well, why am I asking you, Derek? Stu, tell us about your tour. When can people go see you?
Album comes out March 21st, and then we leave.
April 18th, you are on the road in San Antonio.
There we go. We leave on the 16th to drive out there, but the first show's the 18th, and then we're pretty much out full US until the end of May, give or take.
Yeah, and I will come out to Worcester, see you, and maybe I'll bring some modern pastries. Do you like cannolis? I'll bring them out.
Yeah, I mean, I
And
don't
crispy
like
bacon.
cannolis, you know what I mean? Like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'll swing through Boston and get some good cannolis. But thank you so much. Thanks for writing great music. And I'm a fan. My circle of friends, my kids are fans. Turned John on to Spiritworld. And we continue to, bark and tell anybody who will listen. So keep doing what you're doing. It's amazing.
Yeah. Can't wait for the record. Thank you. Thank you for spending some of your day with us, man.
Yeah, no worries, man. Thanks for having me.